Hit the music.
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report from the YouTube channel, and I am your host, the infamous Ultimate One from the Boogie Down Bronx, New York City. One more time, and welcome to another episode. I know it's been a while since I've been here, but I have an episode today and talk about an individual who wrestled in Crown Jewel, and I needed to talk about this because this guy is just, his match was not good at all. And I'm talking about Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman wrestled in Crown Jewel this past Saturday against Omos. The match was absolutely horrible, I might add, because he was two big guys, and all they were just doing, Omos was pretty much dominating the match and whatnot, and him and Strowman just started off with a face-off with something similar to what we saw at SmackDown a couple of weeks ago. And here I am looking at this, and then the starting of the match was confusing because there was people cheering for Braun Strowman, and then Omos started with this, "Oh, are you hearing what they doing?" Like, you know, people were cheering for him when they weren't, and then he had his hand like this, and then they had a test of strength, which that's not a way to start a damn match to begin with. We don't do that anymore. Those were back in the days. You know, this is 2022. And then to top it off, you saw Omos pretty much dominating the match. He had Braun Strowman kind of hurt during the whole match. Strowman was, I think at one point he was outside. And all you saw was Omos pretty much just bragging that he was dominating Braun Strowman. Well, sure and behold, we saw Strowman end up picking up Omos and power slamming him, and the match was over. That was his only probably move that he did in the whole match. You know, I think he kind of did a little comeback, wasn't much. But I said, you know what? This Crown Jewel so far has been good onto this garbage match. And I'm going to call it garbage because the match was garbage. You know, two big dudes going at it. And Strowman then decided to go to Twitter and say, "Look, Omos, we have 47.5 stars in our match." And he pretty much said something about, forget about the flippy floppers in the wrestling business, giant monsters rule. Basically, he took shots at the independent wrestlers again and whatnot. He even took shot at Kenny Omega when a fan decided to say that Kenny Omega is better than Kenny Omega's match. Of course, a troll who doesn't know probably nothing about wrestling. And there's a WWE fanboy. And he agreed to it. And then out of nowhere, he had guys like Mustafa Ali coming out, his co-workers, his own co-workers, coming out saying, "Please teach me how to get fired." And then out of nowhere, Braun Strowman said, "Oh, you in the back catering. Wasn't you in the back catering?" He said, "Yeah, cooking you." That's what Ali responded. You had respond from Ricochet. You had respond from Will Ospreay. Ospreay said, "Why is it that you're still taking shots at other wrestlers? You're making money." So with that, I really wasn't going to say nothing about it. I was going to wait for the weekend and whatnot. And I said to myself, you know what? I'll talk about it on my weekend podcast. But then there was a report that came in, or that I saw, was a comment that Braun Strowman said. He said, "I am the greatest big man there ever has been, there ever is, and there ever will be." This is what he said after Crown Jewel. Now, I don't know if he's doing it to troll the fans, but I, for one, you are nowhere near as one of the greatest big men in the wrestling business. First of all, the greatest big man in the wrestling business was Big Van Vader. Vader did things that no man to this day can do. Maybe the big man right now who could probably do all these moves is Jonah right now. Jonah, maybe Brody King, these big men who could actually do moves in the ring instead of Strowman, who's a one-trick pony. The guy, all he does is clothesline and that's it. Then runs around like he's a choo-choo train and tries to shoulder tackle wrestlers. That's not wrestling. And I guess for one point, Braun Strowman is another guy who has not learned his lesson. Okay, some of these people do not learn their lesson. Back in 2020, when the pandemic started, Braun Strowman decided to go on Twitter and respond to Evil Uno's tweet about wrestlers suffering because the pandemic had came through, and pretty much a lot of the independent shows were closed. And Strowman just came out of nowhere and lashed out on these wrestlers. And why not? He lashed out talking about, oh, you're supposed to save your money and this and that, and it's not your people's fault that you're not doing well, whatever. Meanwhile, he was in WWE making the money, of course. And, of course, a guy who's making millions of dollars, and his company was still open, yeah, you're going to talk crap. But what happened once he got let go? He got let go, and all of a sudden, he showed up at Ring of Honor Final Battle last year with EC3, who EC3 right now, if you think about it, what he has done either, he's really not making any impact with the exception that he went to NWA. And let's be realistic, what's NWA? NWA, you don't really hear nothing about NWA. Ever since they took the belt away from Nick Aldis, NWA you don't hear nothing about NWA. You know what I'm saying? So he decided to talk crap about the independent scene. So when he got let go, he went and joined EC3 and the Control Your Narrative promotion that EC3 tried to make, and that was a failure. And what did he do? Once he saw that the Control Your Narrative was a failure, he ran back to WWE. Here he is again in WWE and talking crap about the independent scene when he's in his nice, safe comfort zone in his job in WWE. But let's be realistic, okay? How far is Braun Strowman going to go now, being that he's back in WWE? He fought Omos, and now what? Omos is a clown, to be honest. Omos was another Vince McMahon guy who McMahon wanted to make him the next Andre the Giant, and he lost. He lost easily to Braun Strowman, a 7'3" guy against a 6'8" guy, and he lost on a power slam. I want you to understand that. Who gets pinned nowadays with a power slam? You know what I'm saying? So here we are, and Braun Strowman goes online after Crown Jewel and makes a statement that he is the greatest big man there ever is, there ever was, there ever will be. First of all, you will never be the next Big Van Vader. You will never be like Brody King. You'll never be like Bruiser Brody. No, I don't think so. You're a clown. And then you get on Twitter and you decide that that when fans get at you, oh, I'm joking. All of a sudden you're joking, but it's the statement you make. Some of these, I don't understand. Some of these wrestlers say things that you have to look at it. I mean, the majority of the time it's the fans. The majority of the fans say stupid things. Like I saw a tweet today where Jade Cargill said that she wanted to dress up as Millhouse, and some fan went and criticized her match. And at that point, I was like, well, there goes a troll, and it was a WWE fan, and here you are making stupid statement and being a bully online because Jade Cargill just said something about she wanted to dress up a Millhouse. I don't know what was that all about, but to me, it's like, here we go, a wrestling fan making a stupid statement. But wrestlers don't stay behind. And Braun Strowman is one of them. Braun Strowman, I mean, I made a video a couple of months ago, whatever, and I spoke about Braun Strowman. I believe he had said something stupid again, and I got a lot of views for that because people know Braun Strowman is the Braun Strowman is like Ryback's little brother. Ryback is another one who'll be talking crap online, but Braun Strowman has become the next Ryback. Always getting online saying the most stupidest things. The guy, he is nowhere probably in the top 100 wrestlers in the business at all. He has no type of wrestling skills. He's just all powerhouse. He's a one-dimensional wrestler, and all he has is that choo-choo train, run around the whole ring and shoulder tackle you, and you're gonna get these hands, which is it's boring already. I don't know why WWE brought it back, and the way it looks to me, Triple H is bringing everybody back. He's oversaturating the roster. As of last night, they brought Mia Yim back, which is a good move because now you got somebody to combat Rhea Ripley and the OCs versus Judgment Day, which is probably going to be the War Games. And most likely, probably the OCs are going to beat the Judgment Day. But, you know, it's just, it doesn't matter. But anyway, I digress. But the bottom line is Braun Strowman, again, does not learn. Because right now, if there's another cutback, when they start cutting people off, and he gets cut, his wrestling career is over. Because no independent wrestling company is going to sign him. Okay? You're going to go run back to EC3 and try to do that control your narrative bullcrap. You know, which was the most horrible thing I ever heard of. That promotion, what they're planning to do, was horrible. And a lot of people don't like the flippity flop, whatever. You know, at the end of the day, if you don't like something, turn it off. End of story. You need to turn it off. Don't look at it. That's it. Let other people enjoy what they like to enjoy. You know? But Braun Strowman does not learn his lesson. And that is his problem. He does not learn his lesson. And he will not learn until, you know what I'm saying, he's out of professional wrestling with no job. You know? WWE is not a secure job anymore. It's not. Just because Triple H is there doesn't mean that his job is secure. It's not secure. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, he finished with Omos. Who he's going to feud next with? Who's in that level of his size that will go one-on-one with him? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he already fought Otis. He beat Chad Gable and whatnot. And what is next for him? He'll be back in the, you know, I love how he told Mustafa Ali that he was in catering. We'll see if he ends up in catering because they ain't going to have nothing for him. I'm guaranteeing you that and he can't go to NXT because he's too big to be in NXT. There's nobody his size in NXT. So, I don't know. Braun Strowman right now has not learned his lesson, and that comment he made about being the greatest, that was the funny part. He claimed he was the greatest big man in the business. Okay? The greatest. He's nowhere near any level, you know, even if when the quote says, "I'm the greatest big man there ever was, been there ever has been." Actually, I am the greatest big man there ever has been, there ever is, and there ever will be. Really? And me as a wrestling fan, when I saw this, I have to give my take. And the guy wrestling match on Saturday was garbage. Crown Jewel was good. I don't watch a lot of WWE pay-per-views, but I saw it because my friend told me, she reminded me that if I was going to watch the Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns, so I decided to watch the whole show. Again, the bottom line is, his match was garbage. That was the most worst match throughout the whole card. And you got the nerve to it was more of a mockery to Dave Meltzer. So he took a shot at Dave Meltzer. He took a shot at the independent scene. He took a shot at Kenny Omega. He took a shot at at Mustafa Ali, and Mustafa Ali cooked him. Even ricocheted him. So you could know that he is probably not even liked in the back because he's walking around with a big head on his shoulder, thinking that he's a big superstar and that's the reason WWE brought him back. You're not all that. Your best matches was against Roman Reigns. when you and I can't even say it, Roman Reigns were feuding, and when you won some of the matches against Roman Reigns. But other than that, the Brock Lesnar and the Samoa Joe, and and the Roman Reigns 4-way, those were good matches. But after that, you have not done anything. You know, I think he beat Goldberg for the belt or something like that. I think he beat Goldberg. I'm not sure for the belt. I don't even remember. That's how much. Braun Strowman has not given me any match that I could say that is the best as a big man. Because they reenacted the him when he was feuding with Big Show and they did the whole explosion in the wrestling ring. That was just a rehash of the Brock Lesnar versus Big Show back in 2001 or 2002. That's what they did. But then again, that was Vince McMahon's era. Now the era is over. Now you got the Triple H era. Now the question is, let's see where he goes from here. After beating Omos, where does he go from here? And we'll find out if you're the best big man in the business. Anyway, that is it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for coming through again on the channel. Again, guys, if you want to follow me on the social media, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, you could check my YouTube channel. You can subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell for new uploads. I know I haven't been here for a while. Like I said, it's a slow time in wrestling right now. So almost the ending of the year. We still got Survivor Series coming up. We still got the World Tag League coming up. I don't know if I'm going to watch that because it's not that exciting. It depends what tag team is going to go there. New Japan. You have what else? In AEW have the Full Gear coming up. And I think it's November 12 or 10, something like that. Or 13, whatever it is. It's going to be a busy month of November with Survivor Series War Games and AEW Full Gear. So we'll probably check, we'll probably go through that. Something going to come up, some type of news, and hopefully, I end the year in my YouTube channel with a banger. But again, guys, you want to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, guys, check out my audio podcast available in Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podbeam, any audio podcast platform that you guys like to listen to your show. Also, check out my merchandise store. That's tcwr.veryinkpressive.com, and you could get this shirt right here. Let me see. There you go. And get this shirt. You get the sweaters. I got other T-shirts in my store, so you guys could check it out. Also, you could register to the website and are able to pretty much listen to either my YouTube channel or my audio podcast by clicking on the YouTube channel, or further down, if you scroll down, you can hit the Chokeslam Wrestling Report logo right under it before you get to the merchandise, and check it out, guys. You could go check it out. And again, I'm all over the place. Of course, I'm a Journal Podcasting Network. You find me there. You can find me if you're in New York. You can check out the SGP radio coming out from Queens, New York. So you can check that out. Also, guys, check out my boy Slick 2099. I think it's 2099 or 1999. He has a new blog and talks about all the wrestling that's going on. He has a blog that I'm supporting because he supports me. Slick 2099. I'm sorry, and he has a blog called Slick Wrestling World blogspot.com. Check it out. It's very good. I checked it out yesterday. So he's one of the guys that support me. I believe he's from Canada. I'm not sure, but and again, all my supporters from all over the world. We just hit Israel on my audio podcast, so that's cool. We just hit Israel. We hit Saudi Arabia. We've been Japan, Slovakia. I mean, we all over the place. So hopefully it continues to grow, and and check it out. And I also will be this Sunday coming up. I will be in Invictus Pro Wrestling. I'll be selling my merchandise there. That's going to be a great card going on. I am sponsoring Mantequilla, Super Monte. I am sponsoring there. Also, November 26th, I am sponsoring New Pro Wave Wrestling with a event called Reigns. I sponsor that in Indiana. So, you know, it's going to be a lot of fun. If you guys support the podcast, support these promotions, the same way I support them. So until then, guys, be safe. I'll see you guys very, very soon.